See that canthal tilt, bro? See that jawline popping, bro? Anyways, check me out. Check me out. So today we're going to talk about how to build an aesthetic physique. So honestly, I've really helped a lot of people through like, one-on-one coaching, online coaching and stuff like that. But I know a lot of people who are like younger, they probably don't have the money for one-on-one coaching, you know what I mean? And don't have the time to invest in it. And I remember I'm pretty sure it was Chris Lovato's program. Or it was either Chris Lovato or Matt Ogus. They had like a $20 program. So I'll have like a, $15, $20 program below so you guys can, get started. So you guys don't have any excuses if you're like a 13 to 15-year-old and you just want to get started lifting so you can become aesthetic. So in like 5 years, you're going to be absolutely diced or whatever. But yeah, so this is going to be about building this aesthetic physique. In aesthetic physique, guys, you already know who I'm going to show. I'm going to show Alex Eubank, the glorious Alex Eubank. Pause. Absolute pause. But I'm going to show you what aesthetic physique is. We all know what aesthetic physique is pretty much, but like how to build it because I started from ground zero. All right. So yeah, so this is an aesthetic physique. This is literally the aesthetic of aesthetic physique. You got the jawline, obviously, because of low body fat percentage. You got literally perfect proportions, good shoulder to waist ratio, right? And then a very good solid upper chest. Same thing here with David JB Fit. Shout out to him. He has a good upper chest, huge shoulders, very, very narrow waist. All right. V taper physique. Your V taper pops. All right. So here's the thing. The great thing about a V taper popping is an upside down Dorito. Literally everything I wear everywhere I go, I literally have like you're gonna see the V taper. You cannot hide a V taper physique. It's very hard. If you wear a pump cover, you still can't hide it. You just can't. All right, like you're gonna look good in the button down. I went to the bank the other day with the button down. Everyone was like looking at me because it was tailored, and the V taper was absolutely crazy. All right, so these are literally the best examples. Besides, honestly, Adam U is pretty aesthetic too. Not gonna lie, but Alex Eubank and Maxwell Cross are literally or Cross. Alex Eubank and Maxwell Cross are like the most aesthetic. Now I know Alex Eubank hopped on. I'm talking about his natural physique. His natural physique is going to be more aesthetic than his enhanced physique because his enhanced physique has too much trap relative to the rest of it. But his natural physique is probably the most aesthetic physique, like top five all time, to be honest. Like natural. All right. So yeah. So priority isn't strength or getting too bulky. I keep telling you guys this, but like it's very important to really implant this in your mind because a lot of times we're so focused on getting stronger. And then guess what? When we want to lose weight, guess what we're focused on? The weight on the scale. Your priority when you're trying to gain muscle is going to be to gain muscle, not to just, not just to do 4 sets of 3 and get stronger. You want to get stronger in hypertrophy rep ranges. You want to get stronger in the 6 to 15. All right. You don't want to just be like, you know what? Let me just do 1 rep every day and go up by that. Like if you do 1 rep every day, I mean, on everything, you're no. You do 1 rep of shoulder press, 1 rep of fucking bench every day. You're not gonna, build that physique. You have to really, really get that mind muscle connection and really work the muscles. All right, really tear down those muscles. All right, so the goal is to look good, feel good, not just performance. All right, you're not trying to run a 5K. And that's the thing, man. Like, I know you guys see these people who run, they built their physiques in the gym and they're maintaining a physique, right? Since they're running 5K and they're working out, but they're maintaining their lean physique, they're probably eating at maintenance or higher, and their maintenance is very high. So you see them eating a lot of food, you get confused. They got to their physique by being consistently in a deficit and training for aesthetics. That's why their physiques are so aesthetic. All right. Now you have those genetic freaks who just like do like do push-ups and do like running and they have every muscle as if they hit it. There's genetic freaks for everything, right? But I'm not a genetic freak and you're probably not a genetic freak. So that's why we're here. Now, when I first started lifting, I didn't think mind muscle connection was real. I used to read about it. I was like, man, I hate when these bodybuilders talk about dumb shit. Right? I used to say shit like that. But mind muscle connection is fucking real. If you don't get mind muscle connection, it's going to be very hard to really build that muscle. Like you have to really feel that muscle. Honestly, the more you work out in the gym, you're going to start to get better mind muscle connection. That's why I don't judge when I see people doing a certain movement. A lot of people are like, that's not optimal doing the movement that way. If I look at the motherfucker and he's huge and he's doing a movement different, I'm gonna copy that fucking movement. All right. I don't give a fuck what the science is. I don't care what the science, the math, the what else, geometry. I don't care what the history behind that movement is. I am gonna do that movement because they're huge and they're doing that fucking movement. All right. And it might be a range of motion that works for him and he feels it mind muscle connection wise. Like the way I do my movements, I feel all of them. All right. They might look, suspicious, but I definitely feel all of it the way I do it. All right. And that's like the important thing. All right. So if you're doing bench and you feel your shoulders, your elbows, your kidneys, all that shit, you might be dying and you're doing it wrong. Okay. You want to pre-exhaust before you do bench. So before you do incline barbell, incline Smith machine, always do pec deck, cable flies, push-ups, or dips first, just to get blood flow in the chest. So you're actually feeling the chest instead of feeling your, shoulders, elbows. And if your shoulders and elbows aren't warmed up, your elbows are going to hurt, your rotator cuffs is going to hurt, and you're literally going to be pushing with your front delt. Then you have the biggest front delt on earth and no chest. Now, like I just said, always pre-exhaust with cable flies, Smith machine. Like I used to back in the day, just go in there and raw dog it and do heavy bench, and I had gorilla titties. All right, I didn't have a very aesthetic chest. My body fat percentage was high too, but same thing with shoulders. My shoulders were growing because I was growing, but it wasn't like how I wanted it to grow. Like surprisingly, as I cut, I changed how I trained my shoulders, and it actually made my shoulders pop a little bit more, and I gained a little tiny bit of muscle during my cut, like on my shoulders, which made me look like I was on steroids. And people were like, "Dude, you have to be on steroids." I'm like, I changed the way I train my shoulders for sure. I definitely changed it, and you'll see that in the program. Like I used to do just shoulder press and that's it. Like just spam a bunch of shoulder press and just get angry at the bar and just lift military press or heavy dumbbells because I'm angry for no reason because I just had too much testosterone. That's all I used to do. I used to just wing it like that instead of like controlled side raises, rear delt raises, face pulls, anything else. I was doing some dumb shit. Now, aesthetic physique is going to take time because if you have low body fat but low muscle, you're not going to have a aesthetic physique. You're just going to be like skinny, right? Lean is law type shit. You see what I'm saying? Low muscle, low fat. Now, if you have high muscle, low fat, that's what you want. But to get high muscle, high percent of muscle, you need at least a couple of years of lifting. I would say if you lean bulk for if you're skinny and you lean bulk for like 2-3 years, you're gonna have a insane amount of muscle, and then you cut down and you'll be absolutely insane looking. All right, and then you can build onto that. And if you're like super overweight and you cut down, but you're lifting while you cut down, you'll gain some muscle in the deficit because you're a beginner, and then you'll lose fat. And then once you get to once you get lean enough, then you can do a lean bulk, then you can lean out again. That'll take a couple of years as well. So that you can really get your goals in that amount of time. All right. Now I've seen people do it faster than that, obviously, but that's a good amount of time to give yourself. Now, men can build 35 to 45 pounds of muscle in their lifetime. Okay. So majority of that muscle is going to be built in the first 4 to 5 years. I'm not a scientist. This is just like bodybuilding.com articles and regular articles. I used to always read those things, and that's what they say. The first year you gain 20 to 25. People, what's crazy? I say that and people are like, no, without steroids. Those same people have never lifted a weight and never went to the gym. That's why they accuse everyone of steroids, because they've never done the bare minimum. They never gave themselves a chance. Always give yourself a chance, guys. Give yourself a fucking chance by showing up and doing the bare minimum. The bare minimum is hitting your protein goals. If you're trying to gain muscle, lean bulk, track everything you're eating and hit your protein goals. Strength train, get stronger over time, right? And work on mind muscle connection. Get your 8 hours of sleep. All right, drink a gallon of water. That's the bare minimum if you're trying to gain muscle. If you're trying to lean out, eating in a calorie deficit, tracking everything, right? Strength training 4 to 5 times a week, drinking a gallon of water, and getting your sleep. Very, very simple. Okay, so yeah, progressive overload is obviously important. You're gonna gain, strength over time, for sure. Now, sets or reps, you'll see this in the program too. Here's the thing: this failure, shitty training, failure, drop sets, straight sets, rep ranges. Honestly, if you are a beginner, like all this fancy stuff is just not necessary. You will literally gain a lot of strength on straight sets, and straight sets are easier to track your progress. If you're doing 3 sets of like fucking 10, it's easier to track your progress than if you're doing 3 sets of failure. You see what I'm saying? Because if you're going to failure, you're not counting your reps. One day you're going to do 10 reps, the next day you're going to do 25, but you're not going to go up in the weight. You see what I'm saying? But with drop sets, you don't need drop sets. With straight sets, you can do 3 sets of 10, write down the weight that you're using. And then the next week, you're like, oh, I got all 3 sets of 10. Let me go up 5 pounds. And then you go progressively overload like that, and you'll make more progress that way. That's how I made most of my progress bulking. I was doing very lightweight on incline barbell. And then eventually I got to, 225 for 8. And then I was like, damn, I got 225 for 8. Let me go to 235, 235 for 8, 245 for 8, and just kept going up. All right. Straight sets. All right. Changing the workout constantly is not how you get results. Drop sets, failure constantly, not how you get results. Literally do straight sets. Keep it basic. Stop trying to make everything fancy. If some shit works, why are you changing it, right? Like, it's just like pickup lines. It's just dumb shit like that. Pickup lines. Oh, I need a new pickup line. Why the fuck do you need a pickup line? Like, what the fuck? That just means that the chick's not attracted to you. Why are you trying to do drop sets? That means your base program doesn't work. Like, you're trying to add in drop sets. Like, you should be training. Your straight sets should be pretty intense. If you're doing 3 sets of 10, you're not doing weight that you can do for 80 reps. You're doing weight that you can do for like 12 reps, 12 to 15 reps. You see what I'm saying? Like, I do straight sets and I feel that shit. All right. Anyways, to get the V taper, all right, your waist has to get smaller while maintaining muscle. Okay. So obviously, like I said, you need high muscle, low body fat. To get high muscle, you might gain some waist fat. Let's just keep it a buck. So you're going to need to be in a high protein calorie deficit, and the most aesthetic body fat ranges are going to be between 7 and 12, unless you're Aaron Donald and you just have insane genetics, or unless you're just like on steroids or some shit. But anyways, look at this shit. All right, you got some muscle under here. You got some potential. Got some potential. But guess what? Everybody just when I got fatter than this, everyone's just like, oh, he's cooked. People don't see the muscle underneath. Once you cut all this shit out, all right, and you're gonna have a V taper, right? Because you're losing literally inches off the waist. Like this is 36, 37-inch waist. Once I get to a 30 to 29-inch waist where I am right now, the difference is insane. You maintain the muscle. Look at the shoulder and imagine the waist right here. That's how it is, guys. Big difference. Big difference. All right. Now, you're probably like, how do I find calorie deficit? So here's how you find a calorie deficit. All right, you use a calorie calculator online, you use the Harris Benedict formulas, or you use the MyFitnessPal. You're gonna eat more whole foods. Why? Because they're gonna fill you up, and it's gonna be pretty and it's gonna be pretty hard for you to repause. It's gonna be pretty hard for you to like mess up your calories or have severe cravings when you're eating only whole foods. To be honest, follow the 95-5 rule. All right, I know everyone's like, I need to cheat day, I need balance. If you're fat as hell, you've been out of balance for a long period of time, as in you've been in a calorie deficit for a long period of time. So if you're 20 to 40% body fat, you've been in a calorie surplus for a long period of time. To even that out and get balance, you need to be in a calorie deficit, okay? So don't say that shit around me. Consistently be in a deficit, like I said. Abs, vascularity, V-taper, it's all going to come with a deficit. People always ask, how do I get vascularity? What's going on? You're literally 21% body fat. Yes, you cut for 6 months, but your starting point was so high that you're still not going to get vascularity. Stop getting frustrated when you're not even doing, like, people get frustrated, but they're not even doing the bare minimum. Like, they're like, well, I've been eating a deficit for 6 months. Well, since you ate in a surplus for 10 years, 6 months is the bare minimum you could do. It's like if someone's in jail and they're like, I've been in jail for 6 months. Well, yeah, you kidnapped like 10 people. Like, you get what you deserve is what I'm saying. Seriously. All right. Best lower body exercises. Got some veins in the quads. Shout out veins. All right, so obviously back squats. They literally this is the best core movement of all time, bro. Like like I swear to God, I feel my abs every time I do back squat because you got to balance. If you do not balance the weight, you fall forward. You fall sideways or you fall backwards. Quads, leg extensions, hack squats are awesome. If you have a sumo squat, not sumo squat, super squat machine, that's also awesome. Smith machine squats work too. Hamstrings, hamstring curls, slow dumbbell and barbell deadlifts, and Smith machine deadlifts, calves, calf races, standing calf races, Arnold calf races, of course. All right. And then the most aesthetic for upper body. Side delts, side raises are going to be the best. Like, honestly, side raises, cables, dumbbells, easy bar curl bars, side raises. I used to do that shit. That shit fucking hurt. Easy bar curl side raises. Holy shit, that shit hurts, dude. Haven't done those in a while, but they used to be pretty awesome. Or upper chest, Smith machine incline, dumbbell incline. And then if you have a hammer strength incline, holy shit, use it. Shoulders, like I said, rear delt flies. I don't know why it says flyers. Rear delt flies. I still haven't fixed that. Side raises, rear delt pec decks, reverse pec deck, I mean. Back, lat pull downs, pull ups, rows for the hose. Arms, of course, triceps, tricep push downs, reverse grip, tricep push downs, curls, hammer curls, close grip bench, all of those. All right. And traps, Smith machine shrugs by far. Face pulls and Smith machine shrugs are awesome. All right. And face pulls are going to be good for shoulders too. So I usually put on my shoulder day. If you work traps with shoulders, then face pulls. All right, the best split, like I said, my program will be in the bio so you guys can know exactly what to do. I like push-pull leg, so I'll have a push-pull leg program. It's pretty simple. You hit everything twice in an 8-day, 7 to 8 day period, and you can really see a lot of growth because you're going to get used to the movements and the mind-muscle connection, etc. All right, so consistency. Nothing in life, right? Let me know if anything in life has worked without consistency, by the way. Nothing in life works without consistency. All right, literally nothing. I've never seen anything work without consistency. A lot of people tell me, like, dude, I just started a fitness page and, like, I've been posting, like, why am I not growing? You've been posting for 3 fucking days. All right. I've posted every day for 5 years and I barely got results until like the 6th year. Be consistent, bro. Like, stop doing the bare minimum expecting maximum results. All right. You did the bare minimum for a short period of time that doesn't warrant any results, and you're worried about not getting results. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, a lot of people say that, like, yo, my videos are so good, like, and I'm not getting any views. And it's like, their video is not that good, but since they put in a lot of effort, to them it's good. But even if it was good, it doesn't matter because they haven't been consistent enough for people to be like, oh, I know that person. You're not showing up on the Explore page. Why? Because you posted once in 3 years. You want Instagram to reward you for showing up once in 3 years. You get fired for a job if you show up once in 3 years. All right. Best believe that if you are a content creator, anybody, you work 365 days a year. There's no such thing as a day off. If you take a day off, you're cooked. Like there's really no such thing. All right. Patience. All right. This is my starting point, guys. All right. I understand with like some of my new photos, like this being my first photo. What was I, like 14 in this shit? I understand why, like, and I went through high school looking like this, goddamn. But I understand why people are like, yeah, you're on steroids. I mean, it kind of fucking looks like it. Not gonna lie. Like if I have a perfect pump and I'm in this Planet Fitness lighting, you feel me? I'm gonna look like I'm on steroids, bro. Like if I get the side raises, I do the dips, get the vein popping. When I do dips, I get the vein popping, get the triceps, you get the lower chest, and then I do some incline. Dude, I look like I'm on freaking roids. I'm not gonna lie, right? It's just a good pump, to be honest. But anyways, years of laziness and inconsistency is why you're not at your goals. So stop trying to reach your goals in like 30 seconds. It's just not gonna happen. All right. Yes, it takes you 30 seconds to bust a nerve, but getting your goals is gonna take longer than that. All right. Like I said, you have to have high muscle, low fat. All right. So it's gonna take time. Be patient. And here's why most people are just not going to build an aesthetic physique, unfortunately, even though I'm giving them, this information. Unfortunately, and as you can see here, you see the V-taper, bro. Shit does kind of look Photoshop, bro. Not going to lie. Shit looks Photoshop. Look at that V-taper. Anyways, people have the victim mindset. People make excuses of why they can't reach their goals. They're inconsistent. They have lack of structure, all right? Lack of structure, all right? And one of the biggest things is victim mindset because, listen, if you don't believe you can do something, you're right. If you believe you can do something, you're also right. So if you think that everything else is the problem except yourself, you'll never reach your goals. Period. All right. Now here's how you're going to track your progress. Red on blue absolutely hurts my eyes. This is breaking my eyes. Okay, but anyways, mirror selfies are going to help, right? Weigh yourself weekly. But when you weigh yourself weekly, right, you also want to track your waist size because there has to be some context to it. If you gain 2 pounds but you lost an inch off your waist, that's very, very good. If you lose 10 pounds and you lose 0 inches off your waist, you're cooked. All right. Notice how your clothes fit as well. All right. And track your weightlifting progress, progressive overload. We know this. All right. Other things to note. Obviously, you want to get sleep, gallon of water, protein powders. Actually, you might want to do rule one. Optimum Nutrition stopped doing lactose-free, protein powder. So now that shit hurts my stomach. So I got to do rule one. Isopure is good. It doesn't have any lactose in it. Dimetize and Rise, I think they have lactose in it. So if you're lactose intolerant, do rule one or Isopure. All right. Other supplements you could use: ashwagandha, yohimbe, pre-workout, caffeine, dandelion root. Simple shit. Nothing crazy, right? Supplements aren't going to get you results. It's going to be the work that you put in. I know a lot of you guys are like, oh, I'd even put creatine. You could do creatine if you want, I guess. A lot of people always talk about that. But a lot of people are like, man, I need creatine. Creatine will save my life. And they're like 50% body fat and they eat candy. No, bro. Creatine cannot save you from that. You have to literally clean up your nutrition. Nutrition and workout are going to be majority of your results. Period. All right. One more time. Training for aesthetics. You prioritize aesthetics, not mass and strength. If you have just a bunch of mass, then you're not gonna be aesthetic. All right. So even right here where I'm like, what is this? 190? What the fuck is this? 195, I think. Even here, like I didn't maintain a lot of muscle in this cut, so I'm not as aesthetic as I am here. All right. Very simple. Anyways, link is going to be in the description for one-on-one coaching. Also, my bucked up code will be in there as well if you guys want to get 20% off pre-workout. And then my programs will be in the bio as well. Very simple programs, very straightforward. They'll get you results. It's literally what I used to get my initial results. All right.